All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. Good afternoon for I say everybody here on the screen, it's afternoon, I guess. I guess if you're not in the East Coast or Central time zone, it is still morning. So I guess good morning to you. How's it going? Happy Sunday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good productive morning. I've already been to
Good
Costco.
afternoon, yeah.
Look,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
That's right. So I guess if you're in Australia, you're probably sleeping right now. So if you are in Australia, you are really up late.
Shut up.
Hey.
Sorry, I have the volume on my own window open. And, yeah.
I was like, well, what?
So you don't want to talk to us today, Trish.
Yeah. I keep hearing Trish saying, good morning. Wait a minute, something's wrong. And I go, oh, right. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. Says everyone had a good weekend?
So far, so good. Unfortunately, It's almost over.
I know.
It goes too fast.
Way too fast. So tomorrow is officially my first day on my new job, but I won't be actually starting my new job tomorrow. I'm kind of still wrapping up things with my old job. So I'm going to be in tandem a little bit doing both.
Are you staying with the same company or is this the promotion you were talking about?
Yeah, it's the same company.
Awesome.
So my two managers, my two directors are going to be working out what I'm going to be doing. I don't know what the next 2 weeks look like. I do know what the end of the next 2 weeks look like. The end of the next 2 weeks is a cruise. So
that's the reward.
That's right.
So are you having to change locations, or you just get to still stay in your own cubicle, or what are you doing?
I'm lucky that that I am still able to do my new role in the same location. We have 3 offices here in the Atlanta area, and I'm at the one closest to my house. That doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot because y'all know I've talked about before my commute. So I am at the one that is closest to my house, but it's still a good hour and a half away in traffic. If traffic is bad, it can be more than an hour and a half. But I have my YouTube. I listen to streams. I listen to videos, and sometimes I listen to videos I don't want to listen to because I don't mess with my phone.
That's how I am. I'm like,
right. Well, the thing is, because I don't pick up my phone and search. So before I get going, if there's not a live stream to listen to, usually when something ends, I just reach down and push whatever comes up next. Whatever YouTube tells me is my next video, I just push it, and I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. I don't want to listen to that.
I know, or some weird, you don't want to get in some weird algorithm and start getting more of it. Because for whatever reason, right now it's giving me sitcom quiz shows, and I'm like,
because you probably clicked on one, like
probably
some random like Steve Harvey, Family Feud.
Yeah, we watch that sometimes, so I bet you that's what it was.
Yeah, because I love to watch those little shorts that people put up or whatever, and I end up in that little loop, and I'm like, I don't want to. I only clicked on. Like I clicked on one video, and granted, it was like cruise related, but it was like cruise ship disasters or whatever. And my algorithm to cruise. I said, I don't want all these cruise ship disasters. What are we doing over here?
I don't know. Me and Chris were just listening.
Oh, sorry. What happens when you get 2 girls up here? We start.
We're not talking about hair and nails. I mean, we could do that.
Speaking of hair, no.
I know, it's so cute.
I took it all off. I was tired of it. So, but yeah, thank you. So let's see who's all up here in the chat. We have Mike is here, cruise ship drone. And I don't know who this guy is. Eddie
guy.
I don't know.
He shows up everywhere.
He does. And what about this one? Cruising Chris. These weirdos. And we have Nicole. Welcome in, Nicole. And of course, Super Ninja Mod, Danny D. And Danny, make sure, I haven't got down to it yet, but Danny is going to be dropping a link here in a little bit. And I'm sure I'll get down to it and I'll talk about it a little bit, but she's going to drop a link. We've got folks saying hello to each other. Oh, Keith is here. Hello, Keith. Welcome in.
Hello, Keith.
And we have Linda from Creates. who's probably getting real excited about a cruise coming up in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
She's already got T-shirts designed.
Oh, yeah.
She is ready, and I'm going to be on
That's
that.
when you know you're excited, when you already got your T-shirts designed and it's 2 years away.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be on that cruise with her, so not technically with her, but yes, with her.
Sailing on the same ship at the same time.
Same ship, same time. That's right. Tripping with RB is in here, so Robbie and Beta are here. Could be Robbie, could be Beta, could be both, but hi. And we have my gorgeous mother, who's going to cruise with me in 13 days on the Carnival Horizon to the ABC Islands. Hi, Mom. LNC Nana, a.k.a. Deb. What's that, Eddie? He froze. He'll come back in a minute. Oh, there he is. What'd you say, Eddie? You froze up.
Poor lady. She's going to have to deal with you for, what is it, 7 days?
Yeah, pretty much 8 days, plus we fly down, plus, yeah. She loves me. Of course, last night, y'all put up that dang bikini pic, and I'm probably going to hear about it.
I have a reserve here. You want it right now?
No.
He's like, I'll share it again.
Sunday afternoon show. Let's leave the bikini pic off. I have not put on a bikini since I was probably 3.
Oh, really?
Girl, ain't nobody wanting to look at this in a bikini.
I don't care what people think. I'm like, I'm going to wear what I want to wear.
I don't even want to see me in a bikini.
I don't care.
I don't even want to see me.
They can look at somebody else if they want, or if they want to say something, they'll get some sass back to them. I don't care.
That is true. I won't say I don't wear things without. I don't wear skirts because I do sometimes wear bathing suits with a skirt. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? If you see my wiggly jiggly thighs, that's on you if you don't like them. So I don't care. But Journeys with JC, I haven't seen you in forever, my friend. Welcome in. It is so good to see you. I hope to catch you around some more soon, my friend. If you haven't checked out his channel, he does a lot of great stuff. So Anfield Road layout in the loft. Mr. Lee is in here from across the pond. It's dinner time for you, isn't it, Lee?
No, well, yeah, close, yeah.
It should be about 6:30, I think, over in England.
Something like that.
Folks are telling my mom hi. What do we have here? A love-hate relationship with Sunday. I love relaxing on Sunday, but Monday is right there in the back of my mind. Man, when I was teaching.
That's the problem right there. Let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta not think about it. It'll still be there in the morning, I promise.
Exactly. I dreaded Sundays when I was teaching, though. Because I knew you just never know. When you have a classroom full of kiddos, you just never know what that week's going to bring. You never know what the week's going to bring, but with kiddos.
I did student teaching and decided I do not have the patience for this. I mean, there's a reason why my kids are like 5 years apart, because I understand why some animals eat their young. I just not.
Yeah. A friend of mine told me.
It is not my strong suit.
Oh, my Lord. All right.
A friend of mine told me years ago that when her children, who are now grown adults, were in school, she was volunteering in the classroom, and kids were sitting in the chairs with their behinds up in the air. And she said, I don't see how you do it. She goes, I just wanted to walk by and pop their butts and tell them to sit down.
No kidding.
I said, yeah, you can't do that.
And it was middle school that I did my student teaching at. So,
right.
They're an interesting group. That's for sure.
You have a message there, Chris.
Yes. The cruise summer was very good. The problem is it had to end sometimes. So,
Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz.
Yes.
Doctor. He should be Dr. Cruz.
Yeah.
Dr. Cruz. Yeah.
We have Coach Cruz. We have Dr. Cruz.
But I'm not sad that it ended. I'm very happy that it happened, and I have plenty of great memories. So,
and looking forward to the next one. Yes. Next one is going to be another time. Yeah,
always have another one to count down to.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we have Jessica here from Jessica Around Town. If you haven't checked out Chase and Jessica, their channel, I don't know if Chase is in here, but Chase live streams on the weekends. Usually, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the typical. Sometimes they'll throw on a Thursday if there's a special shipper. He just feels like doing it, but that's his full-time job now.
That is his full-time job. So if you are so inclined and you want to see some amazing content, some sailaways, and he does stuff around the Port Canaveral area, Brevard County, and sometimes he goes out a little bit further. Definitely go by and check him out. It's Chase Us Around Town. And if Danny can, I would love it if you could drop that link in there for me. Let's show Chase and Jessica some love. Jessica is a teacher. She is a full-time teacher. Chase left the education world to do YouTube full-time and thoroughly enjoying his content. Let's come on down here. Oh, we got Chris and Liz, Carnival Cruise Addicts. Hello, hello. Great to see you here. I know that you guys usually have a family call that you guys do on Sundays, but glad you popped in to say hi. Let's see, just kind of scroll on down through here. Got the Nightbot. If you type in ELS or yo, you can drop your link over on Eddie's channel if you are in there. And let's see what else we have going on in here. This one right here, helping hands for cruising. If you, I'm drinking my coffee right now. I'm going to be getting me some coffee from them when I run out of what I have. But they have it's like a fundraiser, but it's ongoing, and it helps support HH4C, which is Helping Hands for Cruising. It's a great organization that I am really glad to be helping out with and being a part of. I'm going to go cruising with them. But yeah, you can get your coffee, your whole bean. I think you can get pods. You can get it ground. I think you can get coffee and tea, biscuits or cookies or whatever. But yeah, go check them out. If you order your coffees online, head on over there and get you some. And we have Dee Bone Tired Travelers in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. Looks like Carnival Cruise Addicts are making their round, sharing the love. Let's see. Scrolling on through here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I'm missing you, I'm so sorry. Oh, we got the Bud Files in. Thank you for dropping in here.
And I had a chance to meet Chris and Liz from Carnival Cruise Addicts in Seattle, and they are an amazing couple. My wife and I thoroughly enjoyed spending the afternoon with them. Unfortunately, I think we took up a little bit too much of their time, so they didn't get a chance to see too much more of Seattle. But we enjoyed the time that we shared with them. It was just great to get to meet them, the people behind the camera. And they are just as good, if not better, in person as they are that you see on screen.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet them next February on the Unhinged cruise. I don't think it's going to work out for me to meet them beforehand, but definitely looking forward to meeting them. And I put this up because Jessica has met me in person. I think Jessica knows that I am not a bikini pic person. That's just not my vibe. It's not that
I have one. I could put it up right now.
Nobody wants to see that. But it's AI, Jessica. It's AI.
Hey, Carl. Good to see you.
Did I miss Carl? I'm so sorry.
I think it just poked in.
Oh, okay. I hadn't got down there that far yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's both of us sitting on the couch watching and drinking coffee. I went and made myself a cup of coffee just for the occasion. Do you like my coffee mug? Let's see. Can you see it?
Yep. It's beautiful.
It's my coffee mug. My mom made my coffee mugs. So Linda Montemayor is in here. Hello, hello.
Linda.
Trying to get on down here so we can begin our chitty chat. Michael Land is in here. Hey, Michael Land.
Hola, Michael. On.
Yes, and on that trip, I also got a chance to meet Nellie and his wife Haley too, as they were getting off Star Princess and we were getting on Star Princess. And Mike, the Naughty Cruiser, I think we got to meet too, right? So yeah, it was a good trip for meeting people. And over the summer, I got to meet Paul with Travels with P&B, and we also got to meet DC from the Cruise Tubers. So, and Jen, DC and Jen. So that, yeah, it was a good trip.
Great summer, not just the cruising, but getting to meet a bunch of people.
Yes, for sure.
Definitely jealous of both. Envious. I won't say jealous, envious, but I know my time is coming. So. Oh
yeah, I mean, that's just a added cherry on top of the cake. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Finding Donna is in. Welcome in. Welcome in. And Jetties to Jetstream Vlogs. I think, is that Dante? Is that the right name? I think that's Dante. If Jetty to Jetstreams, if you're in here, please tell me if it is Dante. I see it a little bit further down because Nicole says, hey Dante. I thought I remembered that name. Just trying to make it up. Mark's Music Obsession. Hello. Happy Sunday.
So, Mark,
we got
sir.
Keith is dropping the yo. So head on over if you aren't subscribed to Keith at Wakeview Travel. If you head on over to Eddie's stream, you can click that link and join there and catch some of his content. Don't just click that like and subscribe, but watch some of those videos because all these creators have some great stuff up there, and it you'll enjoy it and you'll help their algorithms and all that good stuff. So let's see. I think I'm getting down here. Oh, look at there, Kat and Matt. Welcome in. we got.
I knew he couldn't stay away.
Nope.
Yeah, I think he said he was working today, didn't he?
Yeah, he's probably has a playing in the background would be my guess, but
I do that too when I can, so I can't say.
Or, he's downstairs
Yeah.
working on some of the stuff.
he has a rollout for work, I guess, to finalize. So
Gotcha. We got Carl here, so I finally see Carl. Hey there. And look at there. Nellie is in. Met Chris for 5 seconds. So welcome in, Nellie. We'll probably see Nellie causing mischief later on over in the Chase Us Around Town. He mods that for them and he keeps us in stitches. So I enjoy the chatter there. Man, this chat is hopping. I keep thinking I'm getting down to the bottom. Lots of folks saying hi. Yep. Robbie and Beta CCA Sundays are a bit depressing. They can be. I'll give you that. Nellie says you were on a Goodwill tour. There we go. This is what I was looking for. So Danny Dizzle, this fundraiser she's got going on starts tomorrow. For those of you who don't know Danny, she has a rare syndrome, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it is very rare, and they have a fundraiser going on for this. If y'all remember the name of it, go ahead and say it, but I can't remember it to save my life right now. But yeah, this helps their organization. And if you are so inclined, go ahead and click that link and order you some popcorn. Makes a good snack for while you're watching the YouTube live streams. So get you some popcorn and starts tomorrow. Save that link and get you some popcorn and help her out. So
Liz says Costello syndrome.
Costello syndrome. Thank you.
Yes.
I knew I couldn't remember it to save my life.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
Malibu, welcome in. He says he loves hurricane season cruises. Can't beat them prices. Yeah,
No
we're going to
kidding.
talk about that here in just a little bit. Carl got to meet Coach Cruz. Anyone coming through Long Beach, let me know. Cruising out of Long Beach, doing the Mexican Riviera over there is on my bucket list. Probably not going to happen before 2028, but it is on my bucket list. Have you guys cruised out of Long Beach?
I have, yes.
I have as
I
well.
I did Discovery Princess. We did the Mexican Riviera. I'm trying to convince my wife into letting me do one, but she says we have another cruise out of Japan to pay for, not to spend my money. So,
Yeah.
Besides,
aren't you feeling a little sick coming up in
I know. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's a cruise.
Yeah.
I can't take it with me. I can't
Right.
take the money with me. So might
That's
as well
right.
spend it while I can.
Nicole wants to know what ship Malibu's going on in 28 days. He's got a cruise coming up here in less than a month. Saw that a little bit higher up there. He's going on Wonder of the Seas. Where is that out of? Is that out of Port Canaveral? I think that one's Port Canaveral.
Wonder? I don't think so. I think either Miami or
Yeah. Trying to think. I don't
because
remember.
Harmony's going to move to. Harmony is in Port Canaveral now. Could be Miami. So I think Symphony is over in Galveston right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Symphony's in Galveston. Until I think next August when Icon comes over.
Right.
Uncle Dave, what's up?
Welcome in,
Uncle
Uncle
Dave.
Dave.
Good to see you, my friend.
Glad to have you hanging out. I should probably look down here and make sure no one else is trying to come in. Okay. So Uncle Dave, everyone's saying hi. We got Mandy in the house. Mandy was partying hard last night I guess she was at the Braves Stadium.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I don't think the Braves were doing so good, but Mandy was doing great. So Mark's going on the Prima in 3 weeks.
Nice. Yes. Nice shit.
Nice. Mandy's telling everyone, hey. Wonder is in Miami. See, Matt knows.
Right. It's kind of an educated guess because I knew they weren't up in New Jersey or anything. So
yeah, I never can remember because I want to say Oasis is in one of those ships is in Canaveral and one is in Miami, but I never can keep them straight. Yeah. I give up trying to keep straight where everything is at. There's just too many. Next year on this day, Icon of the Seas will take her first cruise out of Galveston. You can't even escape it, can you, Eddie? Rick's not even in here, and we got Galveston.
That's why now in October is my last trip to Galveston for a long time.
Linda is asking, what does the icon look like for Shipmate? Let me see if I can pull it up, see if you can see it. All right. I don't know if you can. Let me put myself main screen. There we go. It's that white thing right there. I know that's kind of hard to see, but that's what the Shipmate icon looks like. So hopefully you could see that. Let's see here. Yeah, I had a lot.
Way.
She was feeling no pain last night.
Oh.
Did they pull it out? I don't even watch out. I don't watch sports, so I don't know.
I believe the Braves lost last night. So
okay.
I don't follow them anyway, but even though I live here.
Yeah,
somebody said the D-backs were winning or something. I don't know.
I mean, I live here and I catch it when someone tells me, but I'm just not a real big sports person. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that my husband doesn't really care for baseball. So we don't really typically have baseball on. So I don't really follow it. Now, soccer is usually on. Cycling is usually on. Motocross is usually on. But in football season, there's always a game going. But I rarely pay much attention to any of that. Okay, so Linda is installing the app. JC, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you. Mandy says we lost badly. And Chris and Liz said, go O's. All right, I made it to the bottom of the chat and it's only 23 minutes in. That's not too bad, I don't guess. So I wanted to talk about today cruising during hurricane season. And partly my reasoning for wanting to chat a little bit about this is because I am, like I said, getting ready to go on a cruise in 13 days with my mom, and we are cruising during hurricane season. And I really wasn't thinking a whole lot about it because they say that, that the ABC Islands are outside of the hurricane belt and they don't usually get hit with that.
But you got to get there. And then not only that, my mom just said, gotta run, have fun, lots of love. All right, Mom, love you. I'll chat with you later. Somebody was, I don't even know who it was that was talking about it, but they said that it looked like the hurricane was going to be down near Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, the Southern Caribbean. And I was like, oh, that's not good for me because I didn't worry about it because, they don't usually get hit with hurricanes. I'm like, what's it doing down there? So I did go and check out the National Hurricane Center and saw that it was still a little bit north of there. So probably some rough seas, but it doesn't look like they're going to get hit with it. But it made me think about it. What are the pros of cruising during hurricane season?
what are the cons of cruising during hurricane season, and then what are some tips for cruising during hurricane season. So having said that, let's talk about the pros. What are some pros of cruising during hurricane season?
Well, what a lot of people don't understand is hurricane season is technically the Jason months: June, July, August, September, October, November.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't realize that it starts all the way back in June, even though June and July are some of the lowest hit months, but it technically does start there.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into August, September, October, November, and November it starts tailing off, but those are the higher seasons. And I think in coordination with the schools going back in session, you can typically get lower rate fares, I think, with going during hurricane season. And plus, you're on a floating resort. So, unlike a land based resort, if you get hit by a hurricane, you're kind of stuck there. On a floating resort, they can punt, they can go somewhere else. That's one of my biggest takeaways.
It's very true.
I mean, the lowest prices are a big win, right? We talked about that earlier. Cheaper fares, better cabin upgrades, tend to be some more promos as well. But I also think fewer crowds. But again, I think part of that also could be that it's not school season. Like to your point, kids are going back to school in August.
Yeah, I definitely think that that is a big part of the appeal for a lot of people to cruise during those later hurricane season months, is because the kids are back in school, and the prices are lower because, again, kids are back in school and they're wanting to get folks on the ships. And of course, the cruise lines, I think, know that there are people who may not want to cruise for fear out of a storm. And so they tend to shy away from that, but they drop those rates a little bit, and it makes it a lot more easy to bite that bullet, and go that route.
There's also still plenty of great weather, right? Like hurricanes are not constant. It's not, you're still going to have hot, sunny, perfect beach weather type days. And most cruise lines, you don't cruise into the hurricane, you're going to cruise around it. They're going to change some itineraries. So definitely be flexible.
Right.
Yeah, the cruise companies will not be anywhere close to wherever the storm is at. Oh, remember, they're carrying a multi-million-dollar ship investment. They're not going to risk anything for anybody.
Thousands of lives.
Safety for the people that they're carrying, but mostly, their investment on that ship. They're not gonna, if you're crazy enough to get close to a hurricane or something like that, you got something wrong up here. You need to steer away from that stuff. Some people don't realize that when a captain changes the itinerary because of the safety of the ship, and stay away from the storm, they think, what about when you wanted to go to that port, but there's a storm coming. You're not going.
Yeah, hurricane season, your itinerary is basically a suggestion. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
Your ports could be skipped or replaced or completely rearranged.
Yep.
And here's the common thing you see on the Facebook groups is, are we still going to sail during hurricane season if a hurricane hits Jamaica or hits wherever? Yeah, you're still going to sail. You may not go there. The only time a ship's not going to sail is if the hurricane directly hits that cruise port on that day you're supposed to sail. And then they may delay the departure a day, or if the ship has trouble getting back that day, they may delay your departure. So if you are sailing during hurricane season and your departure port is in direct line of that hurricane, watch communication from the cruise line, because they may depart earlier, they may depart later, they may depart a day later, and you'll get onboard credit or at least a refund for that day that you're missing. And sometimes, like if you're on a 4-day cruise on Utopia, that one sea day that they don't have to have that. So you'll lose that sea day, or they'll rearrange ports or do something. But they will give you a good vacation. It may not be the ideal vacation, like Eddie said, like Kat said, that's a suggestion. But they're going to give you a good vacation. you're going to go somewhere else. You may end up having to go to Nassau. You may end up having to go to some other place, but you're still going to get a great vacation out of it.
Yeah, if you're emotionally attached to a port, hurricane season is not going. That's not your season, or make sure that port is not during hurricane season.
And cruising may not be for you too, because
Right.
I took a
Because
trip
other things can change.
Yeah, I took a trip in February, which is not hurricane season, but we couldn't go. And granted, it was a group cruise, and we were supposed to go to Nassau, which, okay, whoop-de-doo, Nassau. But we couldn't go to Nassau because the port of Nassau was closed because of weather. So we shifted and went to Cozumel. All right. So, yeah, don't count on, no matter what cruise you're going on, no matter when you're going, it's always a suggestion.
And it's in that contract, so you better read it. It's in there.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
I don't really. We stay away from cruising during summer. First of all, I don't want to be around a bunch of kids. I will tell you that right now. And
Yeah, it was a lot of
two,
kids on our last cruise.
Yeah.
That's what Matt and I were like, oh, we didn't plan this right.
And
that was probably their last hurrah before school. Okay.
yeah, and another reason is the weather. Weather during the summer for me, it is a little bit complicated to me. Our relationship, me and weather relate too well during the summer. I did cruise in 24. We took our first celebrity cruise because Alice found a hell of a deal, and she surprised me with it. I had no idea what was coming until she finally booked everything, and then she says, "Oh, here we're going on a cruise in June." I'm like, "Oh crap!" In June, so like the first thing that went through my head is like weather, hurricane season, and kids. Good thing that it wasn't too bad. No hurricanes or anything during that time, and thank God it was celebrity, so there's not that many kids in there. If it was the Royal Caribbean, then it would have been a whole different story. But for our liking, I mean, I ended up liking the cruise. So that I ended up cruising this back June. Took Alice on our first MSC for our 20th anniversary out of Miami, and I didn't waste no time. But then again, I'm like, what the hell am I thinking? But it was done and over with, and I worked out to the to what we wanted to do. I mean, to what I wanted to do, and it came out great. But I stay away from doing that. We mostly cruise at the end of September. September being Alice's birthday month, and then we usually do October or January. January sometimes it could be a blade because depending on where we're going, depending on the weather. We had the experience leaving Tampa on Margaritaville last January. But on the way back, weather in Tampa was 31 degrees and windy. So all I had with me was a light jacket. Alice had the same thing. So we were cut a little bit, out of the way, even though we're came from New York, and we should have brought something thicker with us, but we did not, because when we came down, it was nice. Weather was nice. Now coming back, we got surprised with a nice storm. So I mean, the ship rocked and all that, and you can see Ryan's videos on his channel. You can see the ship back and forth and all that stuff. So I mean, it was a hell of an experience. No, no big deal. We dealt with it and moved on, and got back in the car and drove back. But we tried to balance it out between either January or September, October. In between, it is very rare that me and Alice will cruise any place.
Yeah, and bringing up what you're talking about, the ocean was moving there, Eddie. Rougher seas are going to be very real. Even if you're avoiding the hurricane or the storm, the ocean itself is going to be very active, and so that can cause common issues of seasickness, or if you're sensitive to motion, it's not going to be ideal for that person. The other thing to consider is some of the outdoor activities, decks, pools, water slides, because of the ocean's movement, will be closed as well.
Yeah.
So
Right. I saw Ryan's video, I think yesterday. I think he had the Margaritaville video out and said the top decks have been closed, because of the rough seas and stuff like that. And that's the way it was when we cruised back in February, because it was Celebrity Constellation. We were out of Tampa too. And we were having 10, 12-foot rolling waves. And, in a small ship, it's,
you feel it.
yeah, you feel it. I mean, it's a small ship. It's an over ship. I mean, in smooth seas, you're going to be perfect. But, when you're laying in bed and you got your arms, spread out so you're not running off the bed, that's a rough night. And Trisha, just to give you a heads up, when you leave Curacao, no matter if you have perfect weather or not, you're always going to have rough seas leaving out of Curacao because of the trade winds. At least that's what Captain Nick told us on when I was on the horizon. Because when we were leaving Curacao, it was, the 2 times that I've left there, once was on Oasis of the Seas, and the second was on Carnival Horizon. And both times it was kind of rough leaving out of Curacao. So you're going to have rough waters leaving Curacao, at least for the first 6 to 8 hours, leaving. So
It's like leaving Cozumel. Cozumel, you always rock, no matter what. Getting in there is a little bit rocky. Coming out, it's always a little shaky to the ships, no matter what. So yeah, winds could be some kind of they come out of nowhere. Mother Nature is something different, and like you say, ocean. That's why me and the water, we don't. I mean, I love being on a ship. I hate going in the ocean because you don't know. I mean, it is always a surprise coming out of nowhere, out of left field, and it's not expected. So, thank God on that this last cruise, me and Alice, knock on wood, we never been sick on a ship. But I mean, it was rocking pretty good. Mel got sick, but Ryan and me and Alice, we locked out. Nothing happened. But you see a lot of people was getting everywhere sitting down or passing out or something. We got to see a bunch of different stuff that we haven't seen in a while. So, yeah.
So that might be a pro, is some entertainment, like some
Oh, yeah.
people watching,
Mhm.
trying to walk in the ship. I know there was one time Matt and I, hadn't drank hardly anything that night, but their ship was literally rocking back and forth, and we would just walk down the hallway, one side to the next, and you'd swear we would have
Oh,
wait.
I was doing fine. I was sitting on my scooter, so I was fine. I mean, I felt the movement itself, but I'm like, this doesn't bother me because I'm win, get out of the way. So, but up in the little, watch out, that water was everywhere. I mean, one of the they were filming, and as I passed the pool, the wave from the pool came out and hit behind me, and Ryan says to me, "Oh man, you just locked out. You almost got wet." But it would have been fun, but yeah, it was nice.
Last
I mean,
September, Patrick and I cruised on the Carnival Freedom, and the water, the pool was like that. Just you could see it sloshing, and he was quite amused by that because it was his first cruise, and I don't know if he just didn't realize that the water on the ship moved that much. I guess he thought it was just going to kind of glide with the ocean, but it was gliding.
It was moving with the ocean, that's for sure.
It was. So he got a kick out of that. He was videoing it. He sent it to his parents. So, yeah, I just added you too, Carl, on Shipmate.
yeah,
And one of the things too, in any type of, not even hurricane, but just in general, people sometimes think that you're going to compensate it for missing a port or something, but missed ports is usually going to equate to the port fee refund. It's not going to be huge dollar amounts. If it's just a simple itinerary changes, sometimes there's no refund. Like you still paid for a cruise, even if it turns into a different itinerary. So you're not
Right.
necessarily buying those destinations. So.
right. And I agree. Some will give you some type of compensation, but they're not required to. They do that out of the generosity of their heart, I guess you can say. But they're a corporation; they don't
Yeah.
have to.
And they'll typically do like onboard credit, to your point, Chris, or something, or future cruise credits that goes back to the cruise line.
Sometimes you have to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you get silked.
Yeah. On my Holland America cruise this summer, we arrived late into several ports. We arrived late into St. John. We arrived late into Norfolk, and then we found out that we had to go through customs in Norfolk, since that was our second port coming back into the country. So, and then a lot of people didn't realize they had to go through customs, so they missed their excursions and stuff like that. So a lot of people complained to Holland America corporate. So we ended up getting $200 onboard credit per cabin. So.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Miss Alice. How are you?
Doing good.
I like your shirt.
Just got home from church. Thank you.
Yeah. The Eddie Lugo studio just got much more beautiful.
Very pretty shirt. Very tropical looking.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm always amused at the folks who think that they're entitled to compensation because of a port change, or because Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does. And, it honestly, the cruise lines and the captains, the last thing they want to do is have to make those changes to the itinerary, especially at last minute, because there's probably a lot of scrambling that goes on, what do they call it? Shoreside, when they're trying to figure out, where are we going to send this ship and how are we going to get around this storm? The cruise lines probably have as many meteorologists on staff as, the Weather Channel, because they have to, they do have to navigate all this stuff. And there are hundreds of thousands of lives, at risk, if the weather doesn't cooperate. So the last thing they want to do is have to make these changes. So knowing that, you thought you were going, and my mom and I talked about this before I realized what exactly was going on down there. I said, our Southern Caribbean cruise may not be a Southern Caribbean cruise. We may end up circling the Bahamas for 8 days, and it is what it is. It would stink because it's definitely not what we booked, but at the end of the day, we just said, we're on vacation, we're on a ship. And, it sure beats the heck out of sitting at home or going to work, And
I think that's a good call out, Trish, because if uncertainty stresses you out, it will not feel like a vacation in hurricane season, because you're probably constantly checking those weather apps, storm paths, cruise emails. You're not going to relax. You're just going to be like, am I still going? Am I still going to this port? Are we still, just get on the boat and enjoy it.
Right. And don't try to predict where the cruise line is going to take you either if something closes down, because if you're supposed to go to Nassau and the port closes down, okay, you've got 6 to 8 ships in Nassau. It's hard to try to relocate. Royal Caribbean can have 2 to 3 ships in at one time, and try to put them somewhere else.
The logistics behind it, because you have all the other cruise lines doing the same thing. There's only so many docks.
Trying to find a place to go, and then if you're on an Icon or an Oasis class ship, there's only so many that can handle more than one ship, if at all. So,
or can take a ship
about it. Just enjoy the ride. Yeah, for sure. Just enjoy the ride. And another aspect is if you book your excursion through the cruise line, they will take care of you. You will get that refund. However, if you book through a third party, make sure you understand what the cancellation policy is. I had an excursion booked through a private company, and I was supposed to be on the Celebrity Beyond. The Celebrity Beyond got canceled because of propulsion issues. The cancellation was, if I can cancel it, if I did not show up because the ship didn't show up, I got my money back. Well, since the ship did not show up because the whole cruise was canceled, I was able to get a refund, no questions asked. Of course, it was 24 hours beforehand because it was a thing at St. Martin. So, check the policy, because some say no refund whatsoever. Some say 24 hours. Some say 48 hours. Some say 1 week. Some say you get a credit. So understand what it is, and that's where cruise insurance can play a part too.
Yeah.
So So know what you're getting into if you go through Viator, you go through Shore Excursions Group, or even book on your own through something else. So know what the cancellation policies are. Granted, it happens very rarely, but when it does happen, you need to understand. And the other thing that
Yeah,
happens go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing that I find funny is you see these YouTube video clips of these people going to, guest services. My daughter wanted to ride horses, blah, 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 this and that and the other, just chewing the guest services person up and down, left and right. I say just give that person a little dinghy, let them get in a little canoe and go ahead and paddleboard on
They can go find their own horse to ride on.
You can go find your own horse to go over there. Let's go. We're going to take the other 4,000 people and we're going to keep them safe. But you and your family can go ahead and get on that little canoe, and you're on your own.
The service rep cannot control Mother Nature. The cruise line cannot control Mother Nature.
No.
You have to be flexible. And I think it's with any vacation. Like if you go camping, for instance, in the Midwest, you could have a pop-up thunderstorm with a tornado, for heaven's sake. So just remember that Mother Nature has its own agenda or itinerary, and we just have to be flexible around that.
Exactly. And if you're traveling with kids, don't promise them you're going to go see X, Y, Z. Just say, hey, we might be able to do it, but yeah. Because, kids don't understand that as adults may.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
some adults, they don't want to understand.
They don't understand that either, obviously, because we watch them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. And Carl brings up a good point. He says, I'm a chicken cruiser. I always book the excursions through the cruise line.
I will not call you a chicken cruiser. I will say you're a safe cruiser, because I will do the same.
Yeah, it is definitely the safe route to go, and you have to do like was said. If you're going to book an excursion outside of the cruise line, you definitely need to make sure you understand what that cancellation policy is. I think I've got, for our upcoming cruise, we booked Aruba and Bonaire through Viator, but for Curacao, we booked through the cruise line. And of course, it had nothing to do with the weather, but we did it for the peace of mind of knowing that we weren't going to get stuck on a tour, because that's our short day in port. We the other days we're there till like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But Curacao, we have to get back on the road, so to speak, out in the water to make our way back to Miami. So we didn't want to spend our day, worried about whether we're going to make it back in time. So we booked that one through the cruise line. So definitely going through the cruise line is the smart option. But there are other options as well. You just have to make sure you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, and if you get left at Aruba or Bonaire, you could probably swim to the next island and catch up with the ships.
Get on a dinghy, you're fine.
Yeah. And Matt brings up a good point here. Make sure you read your cruise contract. How many of us really, when it comes time to check in for that cruise, do you actually read that cruise contract at the end? It's there. It tells you, they give you all this information, but people get on the ship and they act like they've never seen it before, and they probably haven't, but that doesn't mean that the cruise line didn't tell you. So
my very first cruise, I read my cruise contract. After that, I kind of glanced at it.
Right. Just kind of peruse it. Yeah, I get it.
See if they kind of change, see if anything jumps out at me. But my very first cruise, me being the want to know things, I actually read it word for word. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes of my life, I'm never going to get back, but I did read it.
Now you have AI, you can just dump that in there and get the highlights.
It's true. Give me the cliff notes. Anybody in here? If you don't know what cliff notes are, you're way too young. You are very young. Yeah. I just aged myself there. So what are we kind of stuck our pros and our cons of cruising during hurricane season kind of together, which is perfectly fine, because it's hard to talk about the pros without talking about the cons. But if you were to give someone some advice, what would be your number one piece of advice to give someone cruising during hurricane season?
If you take prescription medicine, take at least a 3 to 5 day extra supply, just in case.
I do that on every cruise, regardless if it's hurricane season, because there's mechanical problems, who knows what happens. So I think that's a good tip to have year round.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say another tip would get the right travel insurance. You're going to want to look for trip delay interruption, missed connection coverage, because if you're flying in, you could have delays there, or emergency hotel and flights, and buy it early before the storms are named. That's going to be key for you. Insurance won't fix your itinerary, but it's going to help protect that wallet.
Yes, if you go to buy your travel insurance and the storm's already been named, it will not cover.
Will not cover anything.
That's a very good point, Kat.
Yeah. Travel insurance was going to be my main one. And it's not travel. This is not hurricane season related, but it made me think about it watching Ryan and Mel's video their last day on Margaritaville, because they were saying that hopefully the weather clears up because of fog trying to get back into Tampa. They can't go under the Skyway Bridge if it's the seas are too rough, or with the fog and what have you. So if you are flying in and out, you may want to build in some extra time. Don't try to rush back to get to that airplane, at 10 o'clock in the morning. You might not make it back in time. So that is something to keep in mind with the weather and hurricane season. If they have to reroute to get back home, you might be a little bit delayed getting back into port. Or if there's a hurricane hitting your home port, you may not get to home port on the day you thought you were coming back in either. Because we all know Florida, they do experience some hurricanes, and majority of, I won't say majority, but yeah, most ships that sail the Caribbean do come out of Florida. We have, of course, a bunch of ships in the Gulf and some that come up from the northeast, but I feel like the majority of the ships out there are porting in the Florida area. We've got Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale or Port Everglades, Miami, and Tampa. And then what is the other one that the Paradise, Margaritaville Paradise comes out of? It's a small one. Can't think of.
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach, yeah.
And then, of course, we've got New Orleans and Mobile and Galveston. So lots of places in the Gulf, especially, that tend to be hit with hurricanes, or at least experience those outer bands. They may not take a direct hit, but it might affect whether or not you get back into your port in time. So just be aware that if you are traveling during hurricane season, you definitely want to account for potentially being late getting back into port if you're flying.
Yeah, and also make sure Rick, the Texas Cruiser's not on your cruise, because he seems to be a hurricane magnet.
Good point. Good point. That really only affects you if you're coming out of Galveston, because he doesn't really leave Galveston a whole lot.
Right.
And it's usually a Royal Caribbean ship.
And we've been impacted a couple of times, and each time was on Carnival for hurricanes, and one was New Orleans and one was, so it was Michael that we got chased by. We had to speed up the route to outrun the storm to get to port before it hit. Made landfall. That was a rough night.
Yeah. Right. I'm jealous of this one here, overnight in Aruba. Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Yeah, for sure.
I was reading yesterday that apparently the Islander, the Margaritaville one, living out of Tampa, is gonna hit Aruba and in Curacao, and I'm like, that sounds like an interesting itinerary. But I wish they added Bonaire to it. I want to kill all three one shot. But so far, I mean, that's one. Number 6 and number 7 might be happening with those islands. So who knows? We'll see. Yeah, we'll balance it out.
Yeah. Carl says keep the meds in original bottles. I've never done that. I'm really the only. Well, no, I take that back. I take a bunch of vitamins, but I only take one medication daily. But the stuff that I don't take daily is in my prescription bottles. But the ones I take daily is in my organizer.
It depends on how long my cruise is. If I'm on a shorter cruise, like 7 days or shorter, I take my pill organizer. But if I'm on, like this summer, I had to take all my meds with me because, I was living out my pill case. So, I needed everything, because I get 90-day supply from my pharmacy. So,
yeah. I had something I was going to say, and it just went. You ever just have it sitting right there, and then it's gone.
Well,
Every
on the
day it's
pills
called.
too, even if you have the 90-day big bottles, you can go to the pharmacy and ask them for small bottles for travel. So you don't have to take
Right.
all 90 days with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, I've got a scheduled narcotic that I take that when I travel, I do take that original pill bottle with me, but I only take as many as I need, plus maybe 3 or 4 more. And I leave the rest at home just in case I do get robbed, stolen, lost, whatever. But I do keep them in my carry-on. I do take all the precautions, but stuff happens.
Mhm.
So but I do that also. That's a good idea, Kat. Thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Yeah, I hate those great big bottles. They just take up so much space.
Yeah.
And of course, like you said, things happen. You don't want to lose 90 days of pills versus,
Yeah,
Right.
especially
2 weeks
when
or
it's
something.
especially when it's a scheduled narcotic, because they
Mhm.
they
They're
want you to
very
get a
touchy.
police report, everything else, and
Mhm.
because this is one that I can only get refilled like when I'm only down to like my last 3 days of having it. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And some are that
So, like-
controlled. So yeah, for sure.
yeah, they are. They're like,
Uh,
it's too early to get it refilled. We'll refill it in 2 days. I'm like, come on, I got to pick up this other one today. Can't I just pick this up?
I know.
No, you got to come back.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy. I don't want to come back.
You're like, I don't want to come back and
Right.
sit in line and wait for you guys to, do all the things and tell me
Yeah,
to
exactly.
consult with the pharmacist again.
Yeah, exactly.
See, like the pharmacy I go to is half-hour away just to get there.
Yep.
And I picked it like that because it's in the way. Let's say when I have a pickup, Alice gets out of work and comes right through there and pick it up and comes home. Otherwise, we got some closer ones around here that I could go to, but I rather have it like that. This way, it's one shot, one trip.
Mhm.
I don't have to go all the way there to just pick it up and come back. So
Yeah, CamFam had Trisha highlighted that thing about parking. If you use the valet parking when you're at Tampa, they will actually move your car. I remember hearing a story about that last year or 2 years ago when they had those bad storms come through Tampa. That valet parking had their cars on the first floor. They had the storm coming in. They actually moved all the cars up to an upper level so they would not get flooded out. So if you use Tampa and you fly out of Tampa or you cruise out of Tampa, use the valet parking. It's only a couple more dollars per day. It's really fast. It's really easy. And they'll move your car. They'll keep it out of harm's way for you.
That's a good thing to think about. I didn't think about that.
Mhm.
My in-laws cruise. They did a river cruise in New Orleans, and they opted not to do the valet parking because where they parked, they opted not to do valet because they were like, we're not going to be there. We're not going to be going in and out of the parking deck or whatever. We're going to be on a boat. But that is a good point. I'll bet you the same thing would have applied when they cruised out of New Orleans if they had parked, use the valet. So, I mean, fortunately, that wasn't an issue, but that is a good point that you bring up there. I
Right.
will definitely remember that for the future.
And in Galveston, we decided to park inside the parkade because, you get the hailstorms and things of that nature, not just the flooding during the hurricane season. So we decided to use the parkade, but other times we will park in open parking. So it just depends on the time of year. So non-hurricane season, we will look at
And if you use
less
Uncle Dave's
expensive.
parking service in New Orleans, I'm sure he'd take care of the car too.
This is true. This is true. Kat, I don't know what's going on with Matt today, but he is full of it.
I see that. He is just going to town. But, and I just want to talk about like how fast a hurricane can, things can change from a tropical depression into a hurricane, because it was 2008 that we were sailing, and we had sailed out of New Orleans, and it was Hurricane I always say it wrong, Gustav. Anyway, Gustav. And it was just, saying, oh, it's not gonna be anything. It was a tropical storm within 24 hours. And then it rapidly strengthened. It hit the warm waters in the Caribbean, and it became a category 4 hurricane. And that's when it was on a Carnival ship that we were on, and we had to quickly, they rerouted us, right? It didn't impact our itinerary, thankfully, but we did have to go quickly back to New Orleans to get there before it made landfall in Louisiana, so we could get, on our flights and stuff. So they keep those things in mind too. So those the cruise line is not just going to look at what's currently happening. They're going to look to reroute early, and they're not going to react just to landfall. They're looking at a bigger picture that maybe us as cruise passengers don't always take into consideration.
It's very true.
So they're going to react to formation is probably what I'm trying to say, versus just, is this good? They're not going to gamble with, is this going to become a hurricane or not? Because sometimes they go quickly to a escalated level.
I feel like she's encouraging Matt.
Who, me?
No. Look at the screen.
Linda Toman.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, Linda. Packa Wilson. Probably. Or he's encouraging her, one of the two.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way that's going.
Yeah. And another thing, somebody put in my chat, Katrina.
That's me. I was using the wrong ID.
Oh, okay.
I just switched.
Oh, yeah. Take a rain poncho, emergency rain poncho. Those little ones that you buy at the dollar store,
Little plastic
or
dollar
an umbrella
things.
or something like that. Because I always take ponchos with me because I'm on a mobility scooter, so you can't get the electronics wet. And I have that, so I can always put that over the tiller. So I keep the keys and the drivetrain and all that dry on there, or at least the drive part dry. So yeah, that's a very good point. Always have that just in case, because these little pop-up storms can just pop up even when you're out in port too. Not necessarily a hurricane, but yeah.
You have blue skies, the next thing you know, you have a torrential downpour for 20 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly. You're coming in like a wet rat.
Yeah.
Or you can just dance in the rain. That's what we did.
Yes.
we just went to the bar and was dancing in the rain. We
Embrace
covered the
it.
backpack. But yep, just have fun with it. That's all you can do.
I mean, if you're going to be in the pool anyway, if it starts raining, as long as it's not unsafe, dance in the rain.
Yep.
I was watching Funnelheads earlier today, and their little boy was dancing in the rain. It was so cute. So, yeah. Let's see. That's why I park in the port parking is elevated in Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. He said we might have mentioned it. Linda is asking about your scooter. Do you rent your scooter?
I do rent my scooter when I travel. I think Eddie owns his scooter, but he drives mostly to his ports. So yeah. I do rent mine because I do get a larger scooter. I usually get like a Revo 10, a Pride 10 or something like that. So yeah, I usually rent mine when I go. But we can talk a little bit later.
Unless we have to go to the West Coast, then it would be different, because then we'd be flying and then I'll be renting a scooter once we get there. But other than that, we drive everywhere here, even New Jersey. I don't have a problem driving, and I'll take all my crap with me. So
that's why I have to ride on the hood of his car.
That's right.
That was your thumbnail, I think, for today, wasn't it?
Just put like a rocking chair, and you could be like hillbilly.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah. Yep. The granny sitting on top.
That's a question.
What does she mean? How far in advance to rent a scooter? Chris will be
how far in advance do I get the scooter? As soon as I book the cruise, usually within a year out is when I start looking at it, because that's when you're going to get the best prices. The longer you wait closer to the cruise, the price will go up just like anything else. But depending on your service, Scoot Around and Special Needs at Sea are usually going to be the higher of the two. I like going through Cloud of Goods. They usually have the more competitive prices, and they will deliver it right to the cruise port for you. They won't deliver it on the ship, because then you have to rely on wheelchair services to get you up, and then a wheelchair to get you to your room. Whereas if they deliver it right to the port, they will tell you where it's parked, and then as soon as you get to the port, you have it. Or they can even deliver it to your hotel room, but then you are responsible for transporting it from your hotel room to the port, which if you're in South Florida, might be challenging. If you're in Port Canaveral, I can get you the name of a service that does have transportation for accessible transportation, which is relatively inexpensive depending on, no matter what hotel you're staying at, because I do use a service out of Port Canaveral. And there are some hotels that are even close enough that you can actually scooter to the port if you're going on Royal Caribbean. So otherwise, if you're in Port Canaveral, and the same thing with California or Seattle or even Boston, they do have Wave taxi services available, where South Florida does not.
And now is a good time to jump in here and tell you to go ahead and plug your live stream for today. Give us the deets on it.
Okay. Today, Scrow's Nest, myself, and Sir Eddie Lugo, we are going to talk today with our Sunday cruise show. And tonight we're going to focus on shore excursions. And we have a unique perspective because we talk about it, not only just shore excursions in general, but we talk about it from an accessibility standpoint too. So, if anyone is interested and wants to come by, we're going to start at 5:10 Central, 6:10 Eastern, 3:10 Pacific. So if you want to come by and catch the show, we're going to talk a little bit about shore excursions. We're going to talk about what to do if you have to cancel, what's available for regular, and, do you want to go through the cruise line? Do you want to book privately? And what's out there. So that's kind of what we're going to do at 5:10, 6:10 Eastern.
And I'll say, I know, I have to throw it up there because, what do you say? It's Matt.
I was gonna say, you can't bring toilet paper on the cruise ship. That's the one thing I actually miss is when we get off a cruise ship, I swear, is double ply. Like, I hate the
Yeah.
You don't like your see-through toilet paper?
I do not. So
Yeah, it's like that one-sided stuff. And I will say, going back to the show that Chris and
Take more.
Randy and Eddie are doing this afternoon, it's great to watch. I tune in. I try to catch the whole thing. Sometimes, like today, I've got a meeting with another group that's going on at 4:00, so I don't know what time we'll be done. But I try to tune in because it's a great perspective. It's great to hear from that perspective of the folks who are on the mobility scooters, because for one thing, it helps give some understanding of what other folks on your sailing are going through, because they have their own challenges not being able to be fully mobile as far as on your own two legs. They see things from a different perspective, so it gives you a little bit of, I guess, is it empathy, sympathy, empathy, and I always get those two confused, but so it gives you that perspective, and maybe teaches you a little bit of patience with but when you are encountering others who are on mobility scooters or they have walkers and wheelchairs. So there's that, but also you may be cruising with someone who is in need of a mobility device, whether, again, walkers, scooters, wheelchairs. It's going to help give you some perspective on ways that you can support those that you're cruising with. And if you ever find yourself with a need for those devices, it's going to help you in the future. Or if you're a travel agent, it's going to help you better service your travel clients. So it's a great perspective to have. And I find a lot of value in going to that Sunday live that you guys have started doing. I think it's phenomenal that you do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And, and Randy is really the OG when it comes down to travel, because when I first started cruising, I actually found a bunch of his videos is how I learned. And then I didn't realize until I became a part of this community that it was really him. And, he really had a lot of the videos initially. So,
Yeah.
I owe a lot of what I know to him initially. So
It's definitely a great resource. And
Yes,
I
for sure.
agree with Ron. Information is always a great resource. And, like I said, even if you don't personally need that information, you may find yourself in a need for it at some point.
Right. And, because, you may fall and break your ankle 2 weeks before your cruise, may have one of those knee scooters. Or
Right.
you may need to rent a scooter because you had to have an emergency knee surgery or something. And you don't want to give up your cruise.
Right.
So, stuff happens.
Yeah. Definitely does.
And one thing I will tell you is being handicapped, when you're on a scooter, you learn a lot about people. You see how people really react. Once they see someone on a scooter or a wheelchair, they look at you differently. And sometimes it's a blessing on the sky, and sometimes it's not. So you have to balance it out when you see someone on a wheelchair. Sometimes it takes more room, like on an elevator or those smart elevators.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know how to use them. They just hit one and go in. And sometimes when you are on a scooter, you have to press two because you and the scooter. It's not because of the two of you. The scooter takes space of two people. So you have to be aware of this stuff. Sometimes you try to get into an elevator and you can't go in because it's packed with other people, and then
Right.
they look at you funny, like you can't come in here. Okay, whatever. So I don't mind waiting for the next elevator. Anyway,
Right.
Alice doesn't see things like that either. She doesn't see things my way. She's like, move, you wait, and she'll tell people to move out of the way if there's a space for me to get in, and she'll tell me get in here. So
Yeah.
I just go in for it. I don't want to get smacked or anything like that. But it's one way to remember when you're on a cruise and you see someone on a scooter or there's a handicap there. Just let it flow. Deal with it and make sure that you try to help out how you can. If you don't, if you can't help or whatever, that's fine. But at the same time, realize that somebody's in need, and it could be you at any other point. So sometimes
Right.
let's go with the flow.
And I was just on the Star Princess to Alaska about a month ago, and the Star Princess had a few shortcomings when it came to mobility issues. But one of the things that I thought was a star for them, literally Star Princess, ha ha ha. Anyways, for their elevators, they had the smart elevators. If you press the handicap button, it would activate one of the elevators either in front of you or right behind you, and it would literally send you an empty elevator. So that was amazing. And you really didn't have to wait that long. So it was, and they had their elevator banks were always 6 elevators to a bank, except unless you were at the total aft.
Yeah.
And they had a single elevator. But that was the shining moment of their smart elevators. Some of the other cruise lines I've been on that had the smart elevators, you got to push the button and it will make room, but people don't know how to use that, and you'll get a full elevator. Or
Yeah.
Star, they made sure they sent you an empty elevator.
Mhm.
So that was awesome.
Yeah. That is really cool. Well, we are coming up on 2:45 here, so as much fun as I'm having hanging out with you guys, I don't want to keep everyone for too much longer. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us today. I think it was a great discussion, cruising during hurricane season, tips and tricks that we can use. And I think probably one of the biggest tips that I saw in there was pack your patience. I saw that a couple of times. It can be a challenge. It could, there could be disruptions, but get your insurance and pack your patience, and it's all going to be good. And, when it all comes down to it, you're on vacation, and what could be better than that, So, but having said that, I want to thank everyone again for coming in today. I'm just trying to go through these last few comments here. And you know what? Try to assist someone if they're in a wheelchair or scooter, if they want it. Let them go first. But you know what? Also, don't treat them like second class, third class citizens on the ship. One of the sweetest people that I met, and we actually exchanged phone numbers and we text each other every now and then. I just so happened saw her one night in the piano bar, and she left, and then I needed to go to the restroom, so I left out, and she was just sitting by herself. And so I just stopped and talked to her. She was on a scooter. And so I just stopped and talked with her for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. She's one of the sweetest ladies. And she just, she was just enjoying her cruise. But don't look at folks who are the wheelchair, the scooter, don't look at them as if they're a burden, because they're not. They are people who are just doing the exact same thing you are. They just want to have a great vacation, and they're great people. Look at, Eddie and Chris, great people. Randy, great people. They just happen to use they just happen to use a scooter. So they're not out there trying to cause a problem and to make your life miserable on a cruise. They're just trying to have fun, just like you. So yeah, definitely talk to them if they need some help. If they drop something, if you see them in the buffet and they're trying to get from the buffet back to their table, if they are trying to balance something, see if you can carry their drink for them. Little things like that. Those little kindnesses go a long way, and it's not going to put you out any. You're still going to get some food. The buffet's still going to be.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, the really biggest thing when you're going to cruise during hurricane season, if you can roll with the changes, you're still going to have an amazing trip. You're just have fun.
Just go in with an open mind. That's all it is.
Yep. And be patient, and just know you're going to have a good time no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris, thank you for putting that up there. Be sure to stop by, go hang out with Chris and Eddie and Randy this afternoon. I hope that my book club admin thing is done by then, that I make it by 5:10. But if not, I will catch the replay. If not, come in a little bit later. But yeah, go ahead and make sure you join. Dave says we look at Eddie funny anyway. Nothing to do with the scooter.
That's nothing to do with the scooter.
He's jealous. He wants to ride my scooter.
Yeah, he wants to ride.
And you can find Kat. You can find myself and Matt on Kat and Matt on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central.
Yes.
For some chaos. We're going to be covering our trip on the Mariner. We just got back.
Looking forward to
just
it.
a little bit of chaos back and forth. The kind of fun that Matt and I
Yeah,
had.
I saw the video a little earlier, and it was funny.
And you can find Eddie Lugo anytime you turn on YouTube. So he's always live.
You find him everywhere.
Pretty much. That's just about right.
And
So,
Matt's kind of similar. You can probably find him on most of the live streaming somewhere too.
That's right. Look, I can't say much. You find me in a lot of them too. So if I'm not on the screen, I'm in the chat. So I can't say much. But hey, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And check out all these live streams, and I'll see you in someone's chat.
Thanks, Trish. Great conversation. Bye, everyone.
Later.
Bye.